Welcome back to another edition of 5 Players to Avoid, and in this video I have some surprising players and maybe a sport that I think you should be avoiding for the foreseeable future. Let's dive right into it. So the first player on this list is Cam Akers, running back for the Los Angeles Rams. Still fresh off his Achilles tendon tear, Akers has come back and been a factor for the Rams thus far in the playoffs, as he has helped them capture 2 wins this postseason. In 3 weeks back, he has 46 carries for 106 yards on the ground with no touchdowns. Are the Rams still working him back? Yes. However, they are moving on to the NFC Championship round against the San Francisco 49ers. They're going to need him in that game and possibly a Super Bowl game if they advance past the 49ers. So why is Cam Akers on this list? Well, the lack of production has been a concern in 3 weeks back. Yes, I do understand he tore his Achilles 6 months ago. However, he is active and ready to go. He needs to perform, which he hasn't. I will give him 1 week to shake off the rust, but he just finished his 3rd game now since his return. In addition to his lackluster performance in his 3 games back, he almost cost the Rams in their most recent game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their divisional round matchup this past Sunday. Akers had 2 fumbles which helped propel the Bucs back into the game from a 27-3 deficit and tying the game late in the 4th quarter. The Rams would eventually go on to win that game on a game-winning field goal, but on the last drive, Akers did not contribute whatsoever. Akers had an immense amount of promise coming into the year prior to his Achilles tear, and after his injury, he was a giant hold. With him now healthy and not performing, he lands on this list as someone I'm avoiding for a bit. Number 2, Ryan Tannehill. I never believed his hype when he rejuvenated his career with the Tennessee Titans, but I did respect him for playing significantly better once he left the Miami Dolphins and helped propel the Titans to 3 straight playoff appearances. Additionally, Tannehill had some real good fantasy value as he could scramble and score on the ground. However, Tannehill ultimately is not that good. Were his weapons injured throughout the course of the year? Yes. But when you're making $30 million a year, you should be able to overcome that, and to a degree, he did by capturing the number 1 seed in the AFC. With the game on the line, Tannehill has come up short in 3 straight seasons now, leaving the Titans with disappointment after high expectations from the beginning of the year, all the way up to their loss to the Cincinnati Bengals in the divisional round. Tannehill may be a good and serviceable quarterback that will get you to the playoffs. This is something I talk more about in detail on episode number 124 of my podcast, Murph's Boston Sports Talk. But for $30 million a year, I would think a franchise would want more out of their quarterback than serviceability and reaching the playoffs. If the Titans want to have real Super Bowl aspirations, they may need to move on from Tannehill and bring in someone who can get them to the promised land. And for those reasons, I'm avoiding Ryan Tannehill. Number 3, Kevin Durant. Diagnosed with a sprained MCL last week, Durant is out for 4 to 6 weeks in order to rest and recover from his injury. At age 33 and having suffered several other injuries throughout his career, this is something to be concerned about for Durant. With Durant, such a versatile player both offensively and defensively, plus being 33 years old, this knee injury for Durant could be troublesome when he returns or even moving forward in his career. Durant has been the ride or die for the Brooklyn Nets, and even with Kyrie Irving back for road games. But without Durant, are the Nets still finals contenders? The primary reason why Durant is on this list to avoid is because of his age and suffering a knee injury. He isn't young anymore, and being a basketball player, you're always moving, shifting, pivoting, jumping, running, and bumping into other players. Will the 33-year-old be able to recover and be the same Durant for the remainder of the season when he comes back that he was leading up to his injury? I would like to say yes, but we will have to wait and see, causing me pause for when it comes to investing in Kevin Durant, hence why he is on my list this week to avoid. Number 4, Zion Williamson. No shocker here, as Zion is yet to play a single game for the New Orleans Pelicans, as he is dealing with a foot injury with countless setbacks. Zion's health was a minor concern when he got drafted, however, it turned into a major one for Zion, the Pelicans franchise, Pelican fans, and Zion card investors. With his original return expected in December, his return being delayed another 4 to 6 weeks, and now being in the last full week of January, we should be expecting Zion back soon. Right? There has been no reports of Zion hitting the floor, doing drills, shooting, or doing anything basketball related as of this recording. So it may be safe to say Zion is possibly dealing with another setback. Zion's weight has been an issue since his days at Duke and has continued into this year, the basketball season. Could Zion's weight be the primary focal point on why his foot can't recover? It's absolutely a possibility, as it's not easy for body parts such as bones, joints, ligaments, muscles, tendons, etc. to carry 300 plus pounds of weight up and down a basketball court for roughly 36 minutes a night, where the player is jumping, pivoting, turning, running, and moving quite frequently throughout the course of a basketball game. There have been some rumors that Zion could possibly be dealt to New York to the Knicks to reunite him with fellow Duke teammates RJ Barrett and newly acquired Cam Reddish, who the Knicks traded for from Atlanta on January 13th. If the rumors do come true, this is something that could impact Zion's value one way or another. But until Zion gets back on the court for whatever team, I'm avoiding Zion for the time being, and if you already have Zion cards, you may want to hold on to them until he returns to the court, whenever that is. Number 5, baseball. Very odd but broad one here, but the sport of baseball has been in limbo since the league locked out the players on December 2nd of 2021. The two sides met back on January 13th, and the Players Association was not pleased with what the MLB owners proposed to them. However, the two sides are expected to meet on January 24th in the late afternoon. That meeting will be a bright telling on what the future of baseball could look like moving forward. They won't come to an agreement after their meeting, however. Having some positive progress will go a very long way in eventually and hopefully ending the lockout. But if the meeting is to end with the owners not impressed with the players' proposal, then the start of spring training and the 2022 season could be in question. Baseball has had very limited movement on the wax, raw, and slab front of the hobby, primarily due to the lockout. Until the lockout either ends or there's a positive sign that the Owners and Players Association are trending to an agreement, I'm avoiding baseball cards. Like I mentioned, baseball is a good hold right now, if anything, until the future of the sport has been decided. But that is going to be 5 players, I guess 4 players in one sport that I'm avoiding for the foreseeable future. I really hope you've been enjoying these top 5 segments, whether it's players to avoid or players to invest in. I'm enjoying making these videos for you as an educational purpose to help educate you on what players that I believe you should be investing or avoiding. But that's going to do it for this one. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and leave any comments down below. Let me know if I missed out on any players, or maybe there's some players on this list that shouldn't be. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. But that's going to do it for this one. But between now and then, you guys know that I love you, and I will always see ya.